Welcome to Colonel Basketball Weekly, featuring the head coaches of McNeese State University basketball, J.P. Piper and Doobie Plaisance. Today's program is presented by the Sports Medicine Center of Thibodaux Regional, dedicated to patient-centered excellence. Colonel Basketball Weekly is also sponsored by Rouse's Supermarkets. You're either local or you're not. And People's Health, your Medicare health team. Good afternoon and welcome to Colonel Basketball Weekly, presented by the Sports Medicine Center of Thibodaux Regional. I'm your host, Mike Wagenheim. After an extra couple of days off, both the Nichols men's and women's basketball teams responded in a big way on Saturday, with each game critical in determining their postseason fates. Let's start with the men, who, after starting 7-2 in Southland Conference play, had dropped 4 straight, all on the road, to fall back with the pack. But Nichols wound up in the perfect place to break that slide. At home, the Colonels entered their contest with McNeese State with a 7-1 mark at Stouffer Gym. Their rivalry with the Cowboys has grown to new heights recently, as the 4 previous matchups had either been decided on the final shot or in overtime. Home sweet home for Nichols, and they would get help from up and down the lineup, including sharpshooting sophomore TJ Carpenter. It didn't take long at all for Nichols to get going. In fact, Liam Thomas wins the jump ball, beats the defense down the floor, and Shane Reillier spots him for the slam. Thomas with a nice game, 4 points, 4 boards, and 3 blocked shots in just 19 minutes. This one featured 4 ties and 4 lead changes in the opening 6 minutes. Craig McFerrin gets the post feed, makes a pretty move, and he's on his way to a 6.7 rebound night. This game is tied at 6. But here comes TJ Carpenter. McNeese might break a school record for 3-pointers this year, but Nichols won that war on Saturday. Carpenter goes 4 of 9 from downtown, scores a team-high 19 points. Colonels are up 4 here. Based on recent history, we expected a tight one. Never really had it, though, after that shot. Late in the half, Sean Johnson unable to save it from going out of bounds. The ball winds up in the hands of the Colonels' Jadante Fry. Nichols registered 10 steals on the day. Reillier in transition ahead to Amin Torres. Amin with 9 of the bench's 21 points. Colonels were up at 11 before halftime. Just a couple of ticks before the break, Luke Doyle inbounding. Jeremy Smith muscles it up, plus the foul. Smith scored 13 to go with 6 boards. Colonels up by 8 at the break. Dantrell Thomas had no points in the first half. Again, everyone anticipating the Pokes are going to go on a run. Liedrich Eccles, their star player, splits the defense and finishes. He had a game-high 23. The lead was still at 8 at that point. Here comes that inevitable run, though. Little inside-out action. Eccles gets it back. The drive and the tough shot off the glass. We have ourselves a 4-point game with under 12 minutes left. But it never really felt like it was in doubt. The Colonels respond with back-to-back buckets from Torres. Liam Thomas keeps the possession alive, and Torres hits the bonus ball. That built the lead back up to 9. McNeese makes another move with less than 8 to play. Keelan Garrett is off the mark with a wild shot, but McFerrin snags the board, hands off to Deshary Guidry for the lay-in. Guidry with 8 points and 11 rebounds. The Colonel lead is down to 6. But moments later, Reillier gets his hands on the outlet pass, runs it down, and saves it. And here comes the dagger, straight from the right hand of TJ Carpenter. McNeese would never recover from this. The Colonels sweep the regular season series. That 4-game slide is history. Good to be home. Dantrell Thomas would finish it up on the dunk. DT didn't score until the 5:30 mark of the second half, and yet Nichols wins comfortably 68-59. The Colonels are now 11-12 overall, 8-6 in the Southland. With that win, they punched their ticket to Katy, Texas, and the Southland tournament for year number 6 in a row. A first-round bye is still up for grabs with 4 games left in the regular season. Now let's look at the Southland Conference standings entering this weekend. The 6 teams highlighted in yellow have all clinched a spot in the league tournament. Right now you've got Oral Roberts, Northwestern State, and Nichols. They're tied for 4th place. Remember, the 4th place team gets a bye in the first round, so seeding is critical. Nichols holds the tiebreaker on ORU, but not on the Demons. Stephen F. Austin's undefeated run through the league continues. They've won 22 straight overall. Southeastern Louisiana, McNeese State, Central Arkansas, and Lamar will battle for the last 2 spots in Katy, Texas, though as you see, the Lions and the Cowboys have a distinct advantage and are just about in. Folks, earlier in the week, we got to chat with head coach J.P. Piper, who could breathe a little easier following the win over McNeese.
I was really pleased with the all-around team effort we got from our guys. I thought it's the best defense we played in the last month. We created 10 steals. Trapping ball screens was really good. Also, we had 17 assists, which means on the offensive end we shared the ball, and we were able to win without DT having a monster night. I think he finished with 6 or 8 points. We had other guys step up around him and make plays. So I think it's a good thing when you can have that balance and have more than one guy show up. So it takes a little pressure off DT. I think we're in a good place heading into this final 4-game stretch.
How important was it to finally lift that monkey of that losing streak off your backs? Did you feel a sense of relief from your team after that game?
Yeah, I think they felt it. I felt it as well. The message all week long was that you are still a good basketball team. You had 3 close losses on the road. We had 1 blowout loss against the best team in the league, who no one else has beaten all season in conference play. So not a lot to be ashamed of. We competed in those games, just came up a little short. They were 1-2 possession games late. So we took it as a learning opportunity, talked about how to finish, how to be better, and really challenged them to defend harder and defend better. So the break did us good, having that day off, and really came back with some great energy and toughness, and we need to play that way for the rest of the stretch here.
4 regular season games remaining. You got to hit the road for the final 2, and it's always tough to win on the road in the Southland, but you got 2 here at home, and you've played particularly well here at Stouffer Gym. Only 1 loss all season. These are 2 games you almost need to have if you're going to compete for that first round bye.
Yeah, I feel like we need to try to win out. That may not be realistic. Corpus is really playing well. But we need to try to win out, and I feel like they're all winnable for us. When we defend well and make shots, we can beat anybody in the league. And there have only been really 2 nights where we didn't show up and put a good product on the floor, and that was Sam on the road, Stephen F. on the road. But again, in those close losses on the road, we've learned some things about ourselves. So big week this week. Got to get Abilene first. Then, of course, Incarnate Word's a very good team. Take care of those 2 at home, continue to play well at home, and then hopefully control our own destiny. Start with Houston Baptist and then finish up at Corpus. And I really hope there's a lot riding on that game for us. I hope it means something, and winning it means we get a first-round bye, so we'll have something to play for, and we'll go down there and do the best we can.
All right, Coach, we appreciate it. Saturday is Senior Day here. We'll talk more about the seniors when we come back. He's head coach J.P. Piper. We'll be back with more Colonel Basketball Weekly, presented by the Sports Medicine Center of Thibodaux Regional, in just a moment.
Thibodaux Regional was the first hospital in the region to take a leadership role in athletic safety. But did you know they're the only hospital in the region to offer advanced concussion testing technology? That their certified athletic trainers assist high schools with team event coverage, and that they provide prevention education to coaches, athletes, and parents? TJ Boudreau knows they're here for athletes of all ages. Parents, coaches, and athletes know Thibodaux Regional Medical Center for expert, compassionate care.
Donnie, I'm in Rouse's at least 3 times a week, and I want the best prices every day.
Come on, Chef. Let's go shopping.
All right. There's got to be at least 1,000 items just on this one aisle.
At Rouse's, we stock more groceries than anyone else.
I can see that. So what's with the tag? Best price every day.
It's the Rouse's guarantee. You're getting our lowest price every day.
So when I see this tag,
you know you don't have to wait for a sale.
I can shop any day
and get our best price every day. Rouse's, you're either local or you're not.
Well, we're all about the people that we care for. Every day we find a way to make your life better. That's what we're here for. Yeah, we're all about the people. We help you take care of yourself. That's what we do. We're here for you with people's health.
Folks, welcome back to Colonel Basketball Weekly, presented by the Sports Medicine Center of Thibodaux Regional. Coming up this weekend, we've got wall-to-wall coverage of Nichols Athletics on the Colonel Sports Radio Network, presented by your local Super Chevy dealers. The men's basketball team hosts Abilene Christian on Thursday at 7:30 and Incarnate Word on Saturday at 3:30. Both games are on the network, including our flagship station, ESPN 100.3 The Game, which can be heard in New Orleans, the River Region, and the Tri-Parishes. We'll also carry Nichols baseball as the Colonels host Jackson State on Thursday night at 6 o'clock on KTIB 640 AM. The remainder of that 4-game set with the Tigers can be heard on KNSU 91.5 FM Friday and Saturday at 6 and Sunday at 1. The Colonel Women's Hoopsters take on ACU on Thursday, a special tip time of 2 o'clock for that one. Then it's Senior Day on Saturday. Game time is 1 p.m. for Nichols and Incarnate Word. Listen to both games live on KNSU 91.5 FM. Now, speaking of the ladies, they faced McNeese State on Saturday in a matchup that carried huge postseason implications, with 9 Southland teams separated by only 2 games in the standings. The contest at Stouffer Gym would put the league's top 2 scorers against each other. The Colonel's Imani White got the better of the Cowgirls' Allison Baggett earlier this season in Nichols' win in Lake Charles. We'll see if she could do it again. This was the annual Pink Game for Nichols, raising awareness and funds for breast cancer research. Among those honored before the game was Dion Babin, mother of Nichols senior guard KK Babin. Dion, a Nichols grad and a breast cancer survivor. Buckle up for this one. KK would get it going early, just terrorizing her defender. She makes mincemeat out of Jalen Johnson and knocks down the jumper. Babin with the first 2 here of her 17 points. Johnson, though, takes advantage of the pick and whips the pass across the paint to Cecilia Okoye, who finished up with a double-double, 10 points and 11 rebounds. McNeese up 2 about 4 minutes in. Neither team led by more than 5 in the first half. Imani White, the Southland's leading scorer, did not disappoint in this one. She had 13 points by halftime. This hoop tied the game at 13. We had 11 ties and 15 lead changes in the first half alone. Back and forth we go. Under 5 minutes before the break, Johnson misses off the glass, but Baggett runs down the rebound. She would connect on the 15-foot runner. Baggett with a 13-point effort. That hoop put the Cowgirls up 29-27. They had 20 offensive rebounds. 2 minutes before the intermission, White just finding ways to create shots, sinking this one off the window to put Nichols up a point. They would trail, though, at the half, 36-35. Natanya Jones from McNeese scored 3 baskets in a row early in the second half. She collects the Okoye air ball and deposits it. Jones with 10 points and 5 rebounds on the afternoon. Nichols down at this point by 2. Inside of 9 minutes, McNeese up 1. Jalen Johnson steps on the gas. The finish and the foul. Her free throw put the Colonels down 59-55. It was the largest deficit for Nichols all game. Johnson scored a team-high 15 points. Here come the Colonels. Less than 8 to play, down 2. Babin dishes to Taylor Morrison in the corner. The ball given back to Babin. She hits. Nichols only attempted 11 threes, well below their average, but that was a big one. It put them out in front again. This game saw 21 ties and 32 lead changes. Under 2 minutes left, Nichols up 5, their biggest advantage. Imani White looking to seal the deal, slithering her way to the hoop. She matched her career high with 33 points. With a minute left, the Colonels would put it out of reach with a Jenny Nash bonus ball. Nichols wins it 76-66. That final score not indicative of what a roller coaster affair this really was. Absolutely incredible. 21 ties and 32 lead changes. Nichols sweeps McNeese in the regular season for the 2nd straight year. What a job down the stretch. The Cowgirls in this one were held without a point for the final 5 minutes and 28 seconds. The Colonels improved to 14-11 overall, 9-5 in the Southland. Taking a look at the updated Southland Conference standings, Central Arkansas is the only team to have clinched a spot in the league tournament. Amazing, with only 2 weeks left. They hold a 1-game lead on Lamar. Stephen F. Austin and Nichols are tied for 3rd. If the season ended today, those 8 teams on your screen would head to Katy, Texas. The Islanders of Corpus Christi are on fire right now. Houston Baptist, Sam Houston State, and Oral Roberts are on the outside looking in, but are by no means out of the race. None of them are more than a game out of 8th place. Well, with everyone so tightly packed together, Nichols head coach Doobie Plaisance knows that Saturday's win was momentous.
It was big. It was a great game. Anybody in here that had an inkling for the sport of basketball, I think we would have them hooked as a lifelong basketball fan. It was a great game for spectators, and I have to give a lot of credit to Brooks Donald-Williams, her staff, and that team. They fought. It was 2 teams just battling for their conference lives, and it played out that way, and I'm excited about the outcome also.
What was the difference for you in that game?
The big thing for us in that game was how we held our composure throughout the entire game. I think even after the score, I think at one point the score we were 20-20, and after that there was over 21 lead changes. And the fact that we didn't get rattled, we knew what we had to do when we would, or when they would go on their runs. We felt like we knew how to reel it back in, and so on and so forth. And when they had an answer to some of our adjustments, we adjusted well, meaning that, you know, our players and everything. So, and I think the biggest factor in that game was how not only did we cause the turnovers, but we converted off turnovers. In a couple of the games in the past, we're forcing the turnovers, which is great, but it's sort of a mute issue if you don't convert off those turnovers. And we did convert off those turnovers, and I thought that was a big factor in that game.
Imani White ties a career high with 33 points. She is making her case, and a strong case, for Player of the Year right now.
Yes, she is. And I am so excited about her growth and her maturation, not only with the sport, but herself as a person. Everything she's overcome from, you know, this summer with a couple of setbacks, with some illnesses, and she's just a battler. And I think she's demonstrated that both personally and professionally. And the way she and KK Babin just complement themselves, they're truly one of a kind. They're a unit out there, and in particular in that game, they were face guarding both of them, and it didn't rattle either one of them because they both had the security that they would play off of each other. And it's just a great situation for any team when you have two impact players like that out there on the floor at the same time, just feeding off each other. But Imani White, she is very special. And, you know, her heart probably speaks louder than her numbers.
You got your final two home games coming up this weekend, Abilene Christian Thursday, and then Incarnate Word Saturday. Two league opponents, but first-time opponents. Saturday, can't go without mentioning, it's senior day, always an emotional time.
Wow, did you have to mention that? Senior day is always emotional for any program. This year, it's going to be a difficult one with KK Babin and Jasmine Scott, two players that I go back a long way with even before Nicholls State. It's almost like I've watched both of them grow up, and it's going to be hard. But they've come here and they've done what they were supposed to do, and they will definitely be ambassadors to Nicholls State University, and I'm proud to say that they were a Colonel.
4 games to go, 2 of them at home, 2 on the road. Very much in contention for a first-round bye. It's there for the taking right now.
Yes, it is, and we just have to take care of, first of all, our house, and 2 league opponents, as you mentioned, we haven't seen yet, and a different look. I mean, especially with Abilene Christian, they have 4 players that can shoot the 3 ball, and behind the arc has been giving us a little bit of trouble throughout the year. So with 4 of them out there, you know, it's going to be interesting, but we're going to have them prepared, and they're going to be ready. And I think the women know what we have to do and what's ahead of us or what's in store for us when we do what we're supposed to be doing. So I'm feeling pretty good.
I know you are, Coach. This is the head coach of the Colonel women's basketball team, Doobie Plaisance. We'll be right back with more of Colonel Basketball Weekly presented by the Sports Medicine Center of Thibodaux Regional in just a moment. Welcome back to Colonel Basketball Weekly, presented by the Sports Medicine Center of Thibodaux Regional. Well, while this time of year always brings drama and excitement, it's also mixed with a tinge of melancholy as we prepare to say goodbye to our seniors who have brought so much to the program. With the men's basketball team, here's Alex Tullis.
With their final collegiate home games approaching this weekend, the men's basketball team's 3 seniors have started to reflect on their time here at Nichols. Jeremy Smith, Dontrell Thomas, and Pedro Maciel all appreciate what life at this university has taught them both on and off the court. They've certainly learned that they needed to grow up fast in order to compete at this level, not just as players but in the classroom and as members of the university community. The environment at Nichols has helped them mature and become model colonels for their teammates to emulate.
It's helped me really grow up as a man and just life experience on campus, off campus, dealing with basketball, bonding, family, getting to know people.
I met a lot of people from a lot of different places, so I guess, diversity helps a lot, to open your mind, I guess.
While the seniors' role on the team is one of leadership, they too count on the support of their teammates to help in both their personal and athletic development.
They are family. There's no one against each other or no I on the team. It's a whole team thing. From the start, that's how it's always been, and they really developed my game by giving me access to the ball.
I think one thing that helped me succeed on the court and off the court is communication and chemistry. I learned that it's a very vital component dealing with success.
These young men have devoted their time and talent to Colonel basketball, working together, united in the program's mission to make Nichols a consistent contender in the Southland. But now that their careers are coming to an end, each is looking to take a different path as they move into the next phase of their journeys.
Whether if it's basketball or if I'm working in the office, whatever it is, I just want to do something that's flexible and that makes me happy, and I love waking up doing it.
Hopefully go overseas, start a career overseas playing for money, basketball, and just develop from there.
Trying to become a GA here and see if I can, stay around and, for one more year, one or two more years.
With Nichols having played such an outsized role in their lives, their time as colonels made a lasting and positive impression on each senior. They've been fostered by the small-town atmosphere and diverse student body that this school provides. With Senior Day looming on Saturday, it's another emotional reminder to these seniors that their time together as student-athletes is nearing an end. They're determined, though, to stay on task, make their mark in the postseason, and go out winners. They don't expect anything less from themselves or from their teammates they've taken under their wings. For Colonel Basketball Weekly, I'm Alex Tullis.
Thank you very much, Alex. Folks, we'll be back with more here on Colonel Basketball Weekly, presented by the Sports Medicine Center of Thibodaux Regional in just a moment.
You may know Thibodaux Regional was the first hospital in the region to take a leadership role in athletic safety, and they responded by developing a comprehensive sports medicine program. But did you know their certified athletic trainers assist high schools with team event coverage, and that they are the region's only hospital with sports medicine fellowship-trained physicians? TJ Boudreau knows they're here for athletes of all ages. Parents, coaches, and athletes know Thibodaux Regional Medical Center for expert, compassionate care.
Donnie, I'm in Rouse's at least 3 times a week, and I want the best prices every day.
Come on, Chef. Let's go shopping.
All right. There's got to be at least 1,000 items just on this one aisle.
At Rouse's, we stock more groceries than anyone else.
I can see that. So what's with the tag? Best price every day.
It's the Rouse's guarantee. You're getting our lowest price every day.
So when I see this tag,
you know you don't have to wait for a sale.
I can shop any day
and get our best price every day. Rouse's, you're either local or you're not.
Well, we're all about the people that we care for. Every day we find a way to make your life better, that's what we're here for. Yeah, we're all about the people. We help you take care of yourself, that's what we do. We're here for you with people's health.
Folks, welcome back. Time to announce our Rouse's Student Athlete of the Week. Louisiana's Best can be found at your local Rouse's or at Rouse's.com. This week, it's senior lefty Taylor Bird, who fanned a career-high 11 batters in Friday's 3-0 shutout of UL Monroe. Bird went 7 innings, allowing 4 hits with no walks in his first victory of the year. For more on baseball and other news around Nichols Athletics, here's Tiffany Williams.
It's been a banner week for Nichols tennis. The women's team picked up its first ever national ranking, while the men's side registered a pair of wins in one day. Meanwhile, the baseball team shows early promise with a very competitive showing last weekend against a host of teams here in Thibodaux. While the women's tennis team recently ranked number 72 in the ITA Division I rankings, the first match since defeat did not offer the outcome they expected. Nichols fell to Troy on Saturday 4-1 on their home court. Even though the Colonels did not play to their full potential, the team feels as if it was an ego boost that caused the loss.
The team needs to work on more patience, more consistent in the shots, because I think that after we won against Tulane and ULM, we had more confidence. So we were with a lot of expectations, and we thought that Troy will be an easy win. So we were less aggressive on the tennis court, and we thought it will be very easy. So I think we need to be more focused again, and think that each point, each match is important, and fight as always.
On the men's side, the Colonels dominated the court on Saturday, defeating both Troy and Jackson State. They've won 3 straight matches and now stand at 5-3 on the year. Both the men and women head to the Carolinas this weekend to meet up with the slate of schools, beginning with UNC Asheville on Friday. The Colonel softball team had a rough go of it at the Houston Invite this past weekend, winning only 1 of their 5 games. Head coach Angel Santiago said his team has many things to improve on. The majority of their struggles come from the club's lack of veteran players.
Other teams are marching out experienced seniors and juniors and, mixing in their freshmen and sophomores. Well, the majority of our lineups have been mainly freshmen and sophomores, and they really had to figure it out, and it's been pretty tough on them, but I know they can do it.
The Colonels head to Gulfport this Friday to begin play in the Mississippi Gulf Coast Classic. The baseball team came out victorious last weekend during the Carmel Inn Showdown at Didier Field, taking 2 of the 3 games with a lone loss in the round-robin coming at the hands of Southern Illinois in extra innings. The Colonels continue their season with matchups against Jackson State beginning this Friday. Coming up on next week's show, we'll bring you the results from the Southland Conference Track and Field Championship and a look at the Colonels in the community. For Colonel Basketball Weekly, I'm Tiffany Williams.
Thank you, Tiffany. Folks, we'll talk to you again coming up next week. Today's show has been presented by the Sports Medicine Center of Thibodaux Regional, dedicated to patient-centered excellence. This show has also been sponsored by Rouse's Supermarkets. You're either local or you're not. And People's Health, your Medicare health team. This has been a presentation of the Colonel Sports Network.